Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich podcast. It's me Vinod here today. Happy Krishna Jayanti, Jamashtami, any way you guys call it. And I thought since today being a festive season, festive day, we'll talk about Bhagavad Gita and we'll embark on this discovery, as they say, into what is there as a value investor we can find in this book, this Gita, Bhagavad Gita. I'm not a religious person. I'm not asking you to become religious about it, but it is a book of wisdom. Like all books, it has something to offer. I thought we'll look at it in the lens of value investing, and find out what it has. Intrigued? So let's dive in. Background. What's a background? Bhagavad Gita is often referred to as the Gita. It has 700 verses. Hindu scripture is a conversation between Prince Arjuna and God Krishna. I know, I'd say Krishna. I'd say it's a conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. Its profound teachings have influenced many thinkers worldwide. On the other side, we have value investing. This is where we come from. A strategy that involves picking undervalued stocks that are less than their intrinsic value, and how to do this. Two seemingly disparate topics intersect. Okay, the most important philosophy in Bhagavad Gita is the philosophy of detachment. Detachment is not being attached to anything, the opposite of attachment. If you're attached to something, detach is to let go of it. So in Gita, there's a philosophy called Nishkam Karma. Nishkam Karma, which means it's about performing an action without seeking the rewards. And it's a very good philosophy to practice not only in investing but in life, where we perform whatever our jobs are, our duties are, without worrying about the rewards or the loss. Because most of us, anxiety is what causes stress in our life that leads to all kinds of illness and situations in life that jam us up. By performing the same actions without worrying about the rewards or the losses, we focus on just purely on doing your job. We remove anxiety from our lives, and this release of anxiety can lead us to a life which is far more enriching and rewarding. This is the concept of Nikshakarma. Now, when we look at this through value investing, how can we attach this to value investing? Well, in investing, the problem is short term gains. We always look at the stock ticker every day, log on and see, is all our stocks in green today? Is everything looking hunky dory? Oh my God, one stock has turned red. This kind of constantly seeking this reward for our action of investing can lead to anxiety, and this anxiety can lead to stress, and this stress can have serious consequences to your health. But by understanding and believing the intrinsic value and having the faith in whatever knowledge you have gleaned from this company and its investments and its history and everything put together, and you're able to recognize its intrinsic value, then you should learn to have patience and detach yourself from these immediate results you worry about in the market. So you should not focus on immediate gains and focus on the long term gains and believe in your action and practice this Nikshakama, which is performing action without seeking reward. So invest without seeking this reward, constant gratification, and checking online to see, have I done the right thing? Have I done the right thing? I get lots of you coming on Instagram and asking me questions. This kind of question, which is, sir, many years ago we bought the share, or my father invested on some government share. Anand sir is saying government share we should not be buying. Government companies are not good, and so should I sell? I have 40-50% profit on this. Should I sell it and move all of this to ITC or Dr. Reddy? That outlook itself is wrong. You should not be looking at it like this. The way you should look at it is, this tree which is giving me so much of fruit, should I get rid of this tree and plant another tree in its place which is going to bear better or more fruit, all the while remembering that this tree has to grow as much as this other one has grown, which you're going to cut down to start giving you these fruits. So you have to look at the balance. It's just not a question of saying, okay, it's a government stock, so I should just sell it. No. Yes, at the time of purchase, your father or you could have looked at it differently, but it's been done. The tree has been planted. That tree has grown. And not only has it grown, it's given you rewards now. quite substantial to 40 to 50%. It's quite substantial. So if you're going to cut that tree down and invest it somewhere else, is that doctor ready or is that ITC going to give you the same kind of returns? So that is a question which you have to think and answer, and you have to really ponder on it. Should you do this? So please keep that in mind. Whatever videos we are putting out there, whatever information we are putting out there, you cannot take it and apply it as is. You will have to see, okay, these are the tools they're talking about. This is the information they've given. Now, how can I implement it? How can I use it? And you have to customize it and apply it to your life and your investment. You just can't take it word for word and just do it. It won't work. You will become very miserable very fast. So the next thing which we want to talk about from the Gita is the importance of discipline and knowledge. Discipline and knowledge are fundamental principles both in Gita and in value investing. Gita, they talk about Jnana Yogi, this path of knowledge. Similarly, a successful investor, a value investor, should continuously be learning, researching, and sticking to their investment philosophy, even when market challenges their convictions. So Krishna says this to Arjuna: no matter what challenges you face, questions in life you face, you should rely on your knowledge and your fundamental principles. Same way in investing, you've done the hard work, you've done the research, you have done the studies. Now you know this. Markets can be manic at sometimes and move sideways and move up and down. And people talk about political situations, people talk about this and that. You should not get distracted with that. You should not give up your convictions just based on some whims and tailwinds and headwinds you see in the market. You should believe in your philosophy and stay invested the course and continue doing that. And as you see any change in the knowledge, you see any change in the market or the company you've invested in, of course it is worthwhile investigating it and studying it again. Through that understanding and gaining the new knowledge, then you take another call. But should never be a knee-jerk reaction to the market or anything happening around you. The next thing, which is something I don't know how to put it across, is the question, principle of ethics and righteousness. How does this apply to value investing? Might be a question. So let me explain how ethics and righteousness, or in Gita as they say, dharma, is part of value investing. Always, whatever action we take should be ethically and morally sound, especially in investing. We should grow and make sure our investments grow, but not only grow, but they are ethical, they are right, that it aligns with the kind of person we are. Investors are more keen to know how a company runs than for what it stands for and how it impacts the world. This is the principle of dharma. If all of us were investing not only just on the bottom line and just on not only on profit, but we invested how the company is run, how it treats its employees, how it's treating its customers, how it's treating its environment, what does the company stand for, and how is it impacting our world, then this world would be a far better place. I do believe that. But it's not an easy thing to do because the allure of profit is very strong. Like a lot of you have argued with me on Instagram saying that, sir, ITC, you're saying ITC, you're saying, but they manufacture cigarettes, and cigarettes are bad for your health. And this is their main source of income. You're absolutely right. Should you be investing in ITC? I don't know. It's a moral question, an ethical question. So that is something you have to answer. Up to what, how much ethical discount are you willing to give? Or righteous or dharma discount you're willing to give? And if you believe in truly in our Hindu philosophy or Indian philosophy, then these kind of questions are also meaningless at some level. So this is something which each person should look and reflect on, and see if whatever investments they make aligns with the kind of person they are. And each of us are different. What you may think is okay, someone else might not think it's okay. So make sure your investments are to your moral compass. That way you'll be able to sleep better at night, lowering your anxiety. Last thing is you want to have is anxiety and sleepless nights about your actions. Then what do they talk? What does Krishna talk about in the Gita? He talks about assessing the bigger picture. He talks in the Gita about the interconnectedness of life and being aware of the bigger picture, cosmic plan, as they say, that we are a small blue dot, as Carl Sagan says, in the dark, empty space. So, on this small blue dot is everything, all human beings' knowledge and everything has been on this only this small blue dot. When you see the vastness of space and the size of our universe, then we become very small. And all these things we worry about and all these investments we are thinking about become very small. Remember, our life is very finite. Though we talk about investments in a very infinite stretch of time, the human life, your life, personal life is very finite. We do not know when it's going to come, the time when you leave this world and go to the next. But when you're here, you do want to live the world, leave the world in a better place at least than what you found it in. So keep that interconnectedness in the back of your mind, keeping the aware of the bigger picture. So whatever you do, investing and all that, that it does leave a world which is far better than how you found it. Understanding global events and industry trends and look just beyond individual stocks. Both these perspectives can teach you not to get bogged down by immediate circumstances and look at the long run, which is what value investing has always been about. Facing challenges and uncertainties. The Gita teaches about resilience, acceptance, and perseverance. Value investing too is not all about smooth sailing. Markets go up, markets go down, unexpected global events happen, and much, much more. But with your research and your understanding and believing in the company and the owners and in the business model, with patience and faith, it's the key to this strategy of avoiding these challenges and uncertainties and being resilient and persevering through these tough challenges. And life always comes, challenges come not in single, as Shakespeare said, in single spies, but they come in huge armies, in battalions. When things go wrong, they say they don't go wrong in one small thing, many things can happen. Same thing happens in the market. One small butterfly effect, as I say, which spoke in another video, can lead to huge waves of catastrophe across the globe when it comes to economic challenges and world market. We saw it in 2007, we saw it during the pandemic, we've seen it during the dot-com bubble, we have studied it umpteen number of times. So to navigate these challenges and be resilient and persevere through it is through patience and believing in yourself and in the knowledge you've understood about the company. So what are the key takeaways from the Bhagavad Gita and this value investing? Well, some of the key takeaways from this ancient text is they are very relevant to our modern life. The values and principles of value investing and the Bhagavad Gita fuse very nicely if you look at it. And though it's from a different era and it's from a mythological time, and all we have are this conversation between a charioteer and a woman, I want you to remember this: patience, discipline, ethics, and focusing on the big picture. That's what I would say is the key things to take away from the Bhagavad Gita as a value investor. Forget all the stuff about religion and all the other things. What you should focus on is being patient, being disciplined, and always be ethical in whatever you're doing, and focus always on the bigger picture. That is why we always say before the first thing you need to know before you do anything in investing or moving forward in investing is to know the bigger picture. What is your end game? What is your goal? Where do you want to go? And based on that only you can decide your investment plan. By knowing where you are and where you want to go, you can draw a map. Without knowing where you want to go and not knowing what you have and where you are, it's impossible. And many of you ask these questions repeatedly to me on Instagram. Should I do this? Should I do that? And all these questions are wonderful. I wish I could answer them, but I can't because I don't know where you want to go. I don't know where you are and what your situation is. So how can I possibly give you an advice on how to go there or if this is the right thing to do? I can't. And it would be very wrong of me and very unethical of me to tell you to do this or do that or do anything because I don't know. This is the same reason why a lot of you I cannot mentor you through Instagram or mentor you online or whatever you guys ask, because even with Kesav, I interact with him on a daily basis. I still don't know many things about Kesav. I will know a few things about him and I try and help him out. But the bigger picture, Kesav has to figure it out. Anyway, all that being said, I kind of went off on a tangent. Thank you for being with me today. Happy Krishna Jayanti and Janmashtami, as again I started with. Thanks for tuning in today. And I'll see you on the next one where we'll discover something new. I think I'm going to talk about apps, fintech apps. I think I should talk about that. Give me a comments down below on what do you guys think I should talk about next. That being said, do subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell notification icon so you'll be notified each time I come out with something new for you guys. Bye.